Does this sound familiar? You check your bank account and feel that knot in your stomach. You're working hard, you're trying to be responsible, but the numbers just aren't going up. It feels like you're running in place, stuck living paycheck to paycheck, even though you're avoiding the big, obvious mistakes. And you're not alone. Depending on the survey, somewhere between 53% and 67% of Americans say they're in the exact same boat, trapped in a cycle of just getting by. But what if I told you there are 3 innocent money sins you were probably committing right now? These aren't about buying a daily coffee. These are sneaky traps that are quietly guaranteeing you stay stuck in a cycle of financial stress. They're the real reason your bank account isn't growing, no matter how much your paycheck does. Today, we're going to drag these 3 cardinal money sins into the light. And more importantly, I'll give you a simple step-by-step plan to break free from each one, starting now. Section 1. The Sin of Silent Spending, Lifestyle Inflation. The first and maybe the most dangerous sin is one you might not even notice you're committing. It's called lifestyle inflation. This is the single biggest reason why even high-income earners often feel broke. The concept is painfully simple. The more money you make, the more you spend. It sounds harmless, right? You get a raise or a new, higher-paying job and you think, finally, I can afford a nicer car, or we can move to that bigger apartment. These aren't bad things on their own, but when they happen automatically, without any real intention, they become a trap. Your new, bigger income gets immediately swallowed by a new, higher level of expenses. Think of it as a financial treadmill. Your income goes up, so you start running faster, but you're not actually getting anywhere. Your savings rate stays flat, or even worse, it goes down. You're working harder and earning more, but you're no closer to financial freedom. You've just upgraded your cage. This sin is so subtle because each little upgrade feels deserved and totally manageable. A new streaming service for $10, a car payment that's only $100 more. None of these feel like a big deal on their own, but put them all together, and they weave a brand new web of financial obligations. That $50,000 salary that felt tight is now a $75,000 salary that also feels tight. You're left with the same stress, just with nicer stuff. It's a vicious cycle that ensures you never get ahead because you are constantly moving your own goalposts. You're robbing your future self of the chance to build real wealth. So, how do you escape? The secret is a principle I call pay your future self first. The moment you know a raise or bonus is coming, before that money even dreams of hitting your checking account, you decide where it's going. A solid rule is to automatically redirect at least 50% of any pay increase straight to your financial goals. If you get a $500 a month raise, you immediately set up an automated transfer of at least $250 to your savings, investments, or high-interest debt. Then, you can figure out what to do with the rest. This one action is your shield against lifestyle inflation. It forces you to be intentional. And yes, you still get to enjoy some of your raise. That's what the other 50% is for. Go ahead and upgrade something, but do it mindfully, knowing you've already secured a big piece of that new income for your future. You've finally stepped off the treadmill and can start forward. CTA. If that financial treadmill analogy is hitting a little too close to home, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this is valuable information and helps get it in front of more people who need to hear it. And be honest in the comments. Which of these sins do you struggle with the most? There's no judgment here. Awareness is the first step. Section 2. The sin of self-neglect, paying yourself last. All right. The second money sin is all about priorities, and it's one that well-meaning, responsible people commit all the time. It's the sin of paying yourself last. Think about it. Your paycheck hits. What happens first? You pay your rent or mortgage. You pay the car loan. You pay the credit card bills. You pay for groceries, utilities, and subscriptions. You pay everyone else, and you promise yourself you'll save whatever is left at the end of the month. But what's usually left? For most of us, it's not much. Sometimes it's nothing at all. So you don't save. or you save a tiny random amount that feels more like an afterthought than a real plan. By putting every other bill and expense before your own financial future, you are neglecting yourself. You're telling yourself that your future security is less important than your Netflix subscription. This leads to constant financial fragility. Without savings, you have no emergency fund. Any unexpected event, a car repair, a surprise medical bill, becomes a full-blown crisis. You're forced to take on high-interest debt just to get by, digging the hole even deeper. It's no wonder the U.S. personal saving rate has been alarmingly low, hovering between 3% and 5% in recent years, a testament to how many people are caught in this trap. You can't build wealth when you're always playing defense. Living without savings is like walking a tightrope without a safety net. It's stressful, it's dangerous, and it guarantees you stay trapped in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. The fix is simple but incredibly powerful. You have to flip the script and pay yourself first. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It's the foundation of personal finance. Before you pay a single bill, the very first payment you make is to yourself. Treat your savings like the most important bill you have, and the best way to do this is to make it automatic. Here's the plan. Open a separate high-yield savings account. Then, set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings for the day you get paid. Start with a number that feels almost too small. Maybe it's 3% of your income or just $50. The amount isn't as important as building the habit. When you automate it, you take willpower and emotion out of the picture. The money is gone before you can miss it or spend it. Over time, as you get comfortable, you can slowly bump up the percentage. This one simple action ensures you are always building your financial foundation, no matter what other expenses pop up. You're finally putting your future self first. Section 3. The sin of minimum thinking, the debt cycle. The third and final sin is the one that keeps millions in financial chains for decades. The sin of minimum thinking, especially when it comes to debt. According to the Federal Reserve, total household debt in the U.S. has climbed past a staggering $18 trillion. A massive piece of that is credit card debt, which recently topped $1.2 trillion. And the reason this debt is so destructive is that people fall into the trap of just making the minimum payment. Credit card companies are masters of psychology. They show you this huge balance on your statement, and then, right next to it, they offer a tiny, harmless-looking minimum payment. It feels like a relief. You think, I can't pay off $5,000, but I can definitely handle $100. That's a carefully designed trap. The minimum payment is engineered to keep you in debt for as long as legally possible, maximizing the interest the company makes off you. Let us be crystal clear. Paying the minimum is the financial equivalent of trying to bail out a sinking boat with a teaspoon. You're barely covering the interest that racks up each month, with almost nothing going to the actual balance. A $5,000 credit card balance at an average interest rate could take you over 20 years to pay off if you only make minimum payments, and you could easily pay more in interest than the original amount you borrowed. You are paying a massive tax on your past purchases, and it makes it impossible to save, invest, or get ahead. To break free from this, you need a new mindset. The minimum payment is the enemy. It is a suggestion from the bank on how to stay poor. You must commit to paying more than the minimum. Here's the two-step plan to kill this debt. First, stop the bleeding. Stop using your credit cards for new purchases. Switch to a debit card or cash until the debt is under control. You can't dig your way out of a hole if you're still digging. Second, pick your debt attack plan. There are two great methods: the snowball and the avalanche. With the debt snowball, you list your debts from smallest balance to largest. You make minimum payments on everything, but throw every extra dollar at the smallest debt. Once it's gone, you get a huge psychological win, and you roll all that money into attacking the next smallest debt. With the debt avalanche, you list your debts by interest rate, from highest to lowest, and attack the highest interest rate debt first. This method saves you the most money in interest over time, though it might take longer to get that first win. Whichever you choose, the key is consistency. Even an extra $50 or $100 a month can shave years off your repayment time and save you thousands in interest. Look, I know breaking these habits is hard, but having the right tools makes a world of difference. To help you get started, I've put together a completely free, simple budget and debt tracker you can download. The link is right at the top of the description below. It's the same basic system I use to get my own finances in order, and it will help you see exactly where your money is going so you can start making these changes. Conclusion. So, let's recap the 3 sins keeping you poor. The sin of silent spending, where lifestyle inflation eats up every raise. The sin of self-neglect, where you pay yourself last and never build savings. And the sin of minimum thinking, which keeps you trapped in a cycle of high-interest debt. These are not life sentences. They are habits, and habits can be broken. The fear of facing these numbers can be paralyzing, but taking one small step today changes everything. The moment you decide to fight back is the moment your entire financial future begins to shift. You have the power to do this. You can build a life of financial security and freedom. Start today.